And we're taking a live look outside in Bentonville. Good morning to you there. Thank you so much for waking up with us on 5 News this morning. Beautiful sunrise there, and it's Friday. TGIF.
It is. We made it through an entire week. It kind of feels like it's flown by. It has,
It
right?
has, yeah, it has.
But Mother's Day is on Sunday.
Yes.
It's almost here.
Yeah, it's almost here. The weekend's here. It looks good for most of the day today and most of Saturday, but there's a few storm chances mixed in, especially for Mother's Day. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but first showing you right now that it's a pretty similar start to yesterday morning, but it is slightly warmer. And that's going to be the theme for today is it will be warmer this afternoon than it was yesterday afternoon, but still comfortable. It's not going to be very muggy. Temperatures right now walking out the door in the mid to upper 40s for most of northwest Arkansas. We're seeing some 40s and low 50s in the River Valley, although it is 51 there in Eureka Springs. But you notice on satellite, not a whole lot of cloud cover, and there's that bump up from yesterday, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer in northwest Arkansas and a few degrees warmer in the River Valley. So as you're heading out, you might still need a light jacket, but we'll see plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 40s. But we will see plenty of sunshine continuing for recess and lunchtime, temperatures in the 60s. Then heading home, warmer with a little bit of a southwest breeze as temperatures get into the 70s and some low 80s, especially in the River Valley. Now, later this evening, from about 7 to 11 o'clock, we could see a few storms that could be on the stronger side. It's a low-end risk, but we do have that risk for later today. Tomorrow, not expecting any storms. Sunday, a few storms area-wide with some stronger storms possible south of I-40. So over the next few days, we will have those chances of some storms, and we'll talk about that timeline and your Mother's Day weekend forecast coming up in just a little bit. For now, we'll give you a live look at traffic on this Friday morning. Take a live look along I-49 Elm Springs Road exit. Good morning to you there. Again, a little bit cool to start today, but otherwise a very nice day today. It'll be a pretty nice day tomorrow, but again, just watching those storm chances for this evening and for Sunday. We'll have your full forecast coming up at about 6:15. Joe and Claire, excuse me.
All right, it is 6:02. President Trump saying that the ceasefire with Iran is still intact despite an escalation in tensions.
U.S. Central Command says American forces responded with self-defense strikes on Iranian targets Thursday after 3 Navy destroyers came under missile and drone fire in the Strait of Hormuz, but were not struck. President Trump commented on the incident, saying, quote, "They trifled with us today. We blew them away." Iran says it's reviewing the latest U.S. proposal to end the war.
And amid the tensions in the Middle East, rising fuel prices impacting both retailers and consumers. According to AAA, the average price of diesel is now up to $5.23 in Arkansas. One retail expert saying a lot of stores that don't have their own self-supply are getting hit with fuel upcharges, meaning the cost will get passed on to the customers. He says there's no way for retailers to avoid raising prices, but shoppers are finding ways to save.
Some of our stores that I have talked to some of the owners or managers, their beef sales have dropped dramatically, but their chicken sales are up. You know, a lot of consumers have switched from name brand items to store brand items.
Well, he says they can also save by checking store ads and using those digital coupons. Meanwhile, the price of regular gas also remains high this morning. I know you've noticed the pinch out there. In Rogers, if you're filling up, you're going to look to pay around $3.98 per gallon, according to Gas Buddy. And in Fort Smith, about $3.97, a little bit higher there at $3.99 in Clarksville.
And efforts to monitor the spread of the deadly hantavirus after an outbreak on a cruise ship are expanding. At least a dozen countries are monitoring people who had disembarked from the MV Hondias luxury liner before the cases on board were confirmed. Health officials in at least 5 U.S. states say they are monitoring former passengers. So far, each state says none of them are showing any signs of the illness. Passengers have been isolating in their rooms as the ship now sails to Spain's Canary Islands. The World Health Organization says it expects cases to grow with this strain, which can be passed from human to human.
Given the incubation period of the Andes virus, which can be up to 6 weeks, it's possible that more cases may be reported. While this is a serious incident, WHO assesses the public health risk as low.
3 passengers have died from the virus. Earlier this week, 3 more people with suspected cases were evacuated from the ship.
Well, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is updating requirements for retailers to take part in supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP. Retailers accepting the SNAP benefits will have to carry 7 varieties of items across 4 categories of staple foods, which will include dairy, fruits, and vegetables as well, which means more perishable foods will be available to shoppers. Now, the new rule also closes loopholes on retailers being able to count certain snack foods toward their staple food requirements. The new rule goes into effect in the fall. And in other news at 6:05 this morning, cold cases in Oklahoma could get another look from new investigators.
It's thanks to a bill sitting on the governor's desk waiting for his signature. Chloe Abbott has more.
For the last 21 years, Maggie Zingman has been praying for an arrest in the murder of her daughter, Brittany Phillips.
It's those deep brown eyes and that the love of, I couldn't save her, but I can carry her memory on.
Maggie keeps Brittany's memory alive by getting laws changed. She's been working on a bill that would let cold case families ask for a review of their case. Right now, only law enforcement can do that.
For many years, I've asked for cold case review, and I've been denied. And so this is just sort of saying we have this right.
The review requires someone who hasn't previously investigated the case to go through it again and see if another investigation could lead to more evidence. And the review would have to be completed in 6 months.
I don't have any magical beliefs that, suddenly we're going to review it and we're going to find all these answers and stuff, but it's going to at least, I have learned to deal with anything once I know what's going on.
Maggie says investigators would also have to give families updates, even if there are no new developments, because some families say it's been years since they've heard anything on their case.
Without this, I just felt on an endless cycle of, please, can we look at this? Can we address this? A lot of families finally give up. And so this is going to give them a voice.
If the governor does not veto or sign the bill, it will automatically become a law and go into effect November 1st. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma legislature has passed multiple laws that will impact the school year and school day across classrooms. A House bill will increase the school year by a week. A Senate bill will increase recess times for elementary students by 40 minutes. Both go into effect next school year.
Well, Fort Smith is once again updating the amount of gallons that was spilled during last Saturday's acid spill there on Highway 271 South. The city says it's now almost 89,000 gallons that was spilled after a tank exploded at CNS Chemical. That's 51,000 less than what the EPA reported to us this week. The city says cleanup is still underway, and they've created a website for updates. You can find it at fortsmithcleanup.com.
And the Walton Family Foundation is laying out a new 5-year plan for Northwest Arkansas and the Arkansas-Mississippi Delta. The plan includes investments and grants connected to housing, workforce development, community infrastructure, and transit as the region continues to grow. Nelson Peacock with the Northwest Arkansas Council says the region is expected to grow from about 600,000 people to nearly 1 million over the next 20 years. And with the opportunities that come with growth, he also described the growing pains.
People can feel that in terms of traffic, housing cost, utility cost, and things like that. So what we need to do is work better together going forward to make sure that we can invest in the infrastructure that we're going to need.
Robert Burns with the foundation offered ways travel can be improved through investment, like improving local travel through Ozark Regional Transit, creating better cycling infrastructure, and improving sidewalks.
Well, this weekend, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett is set to speak at Crystal Bridges in Bentonville as part of the museum's Building Bridge series that has already featured former secretaries of state like Condoleezza Rice and Hillary Clinton. The event is happening tomorrow night from 6 to 7. Tickets there are sold out, but Crystal Bridges will be streaming the entire event. We have details on how you can watch. Just check out our website, 5newsonline.com.